What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know, my name is Adam James. In today's episode, we're going to go over how to convert STL files into a solid body within Fusion 360. If you've ever been on Thingiverse.com and downloaded an STL file and wanted to convert it to a solid body for some customization, then this video is right up your alley. Let's jump right on in. So we'll jump right on into Thingiverse.com. This is a project called Mason Jar Candy Machine by Edgewoodmodern. I will leave a link to this project as well as Edgewoodmodern's designer profile in the description below. So this is a product that has, I believe it's 5 components. We've got a knob, a barrel, a pin, a top, and a base, all to assemble together. And he's got this really cool kind of assembly tutorial video to learn how to kind of put this all together, which is super slick. I'll leave a link to that tutorial video as well if you're interested in customizing this specific project. But again, you could follow this tutorial for any project or STL file that you find on Thingiverse or wherever you might obtain that. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to focus mainly on this knob and the customization of, this has kind of the Edgewoodmodern, I'm going to guess is what this stands for, logo or initials here on the knob, but we're going to delete that and then customize it with, say, I'm going to just do my initials to make things simplistic. You could do whatever you want. So we'll start with the STL file, convert it to a solid body, and then convert it back to an STL file so that we can 3D print it. Kind of cool. So wherever you're grabbing your STL files, be sure to download them and store them in a location that you will remember so that you can upload them to Fusion 360. I've already downloaded these, so I will go ahead and jump right on into Fusion 360. Now, as we open Fusion 360, you'll see we have this candy machine assembly file that I put together. We've got the mason jar, which of course won't be 3D printed, right? And then we have the top, the bottom, and then this kind of knob here, which we're going to focus on for the purpose of learning today. So what I'll do is I will open this knob in another window, and we'll close out of here. And then really quick, what I want to go over is I just want to mention how to confirm that this is indeed an STL file before we kind of go forward, right? If you click on bodies over here to the left, or left click rather, you'll see that this kind of mesh icon is here. That means it's indeed a mesh and an STL file. Now, if we go over to inspect and we try to do, say, a section analysis, it says generates a cutaway view of models through a face or plane. Now, if we try to select it, it says select a face. We can't actually select anything, so that's a clear indication that this is not a solid body because we can't do a section analysis. So we're gonna go, we were in solid, we're gonna go up here and select on mesh, left click on mesh, left click on modify, and then we're gonna select this convert mesh button, and it says select body, which we're really selecting a mesh, right? So that's kind of ironic. And then for the method here, or sorry, for the operation, we want to keep it at parametric, and for the method, we want to ensure it says faceted. Now, I do want to mention that if you haven't already checked out my previous how to import an STL file within Fusion 360 video, highly recommend that you check out that tutorial before we move forward with this process to ensure that the STL file and the size and dimensions are correlating correctly to what you want to actually 3D print later down the road. So if you haven't already, definitely check out that file before we go any further. So method, again, we will select faceted, click OK, and there we go. This is a solid body now. Quick and easy, straight and to the point. We've got a solid body icon here. If we go to inspect, we can select section analysis. This now lets us select any of these faces, and we can left click and then drag this slider in, and we get this kind of cross hatching, which of course indicates that this is a body with solid geometry. We'll click cancel here, shift middle click to kind of rotate this guy around. And our goal here is to modify this text in the middle, right? We want to customize this, so let's get rid of this logo. Sorry, Edgewoodmodern, but we want to customize this. I'm giving you credit, don't you worry. And we'll go back to solid because we're now in a solid body. and I will do create sketch, left click on create sketch, and then you can select any of these kind of facets. I will mention there's some different ways to do this first before I go ahead and select a sketch. So first way, this is a little more, I guess, tedious, but you could select one of these, like left click on one of these triangles and then click extrude, and then you can drag this with the left click as well, and then maybe select join, right? And on extent type, left click on to object, and then left click here. And now you've got this, and you could do that and go through every single one of these triangles and extrude it up to the surface. But that seems really time consuming, and if I did that, I would just fast forward through it. But this will save you some time. So left click on create sketch, left click on the triangle, and then what you're gonna wanna do is just R on the rectangle, or R on the rectangle, R on the keyboard for rectangle, left click outside of the bounds of kind of the geometry that you're trying to create, and then left click again outside it. And we've got a rectangle, escape to get out of that, shift middle click to take a look at it, and then finish sketch. And then we're gonna left click on extrude and left click on the rectangle. For some reason it doesn't like this one, so we will control left click on that last one. And then now we've got some geometry that we can modify. Now, when we first drag this into the geometry, it's going to start cutting it. And you're like, well, that could be kind of cool. Maybe you want to put a logo there or something on the knob. But the whole goal, we kind of want to make it look as genuine as the original was, right? So let's click under operation. Let's click on join. And so long as we're not dragging this slider, down further past any of the geometry that's not actually going to modify any of the other features on this part, we should be fine. So we can just do like 4 millimeters to make sure. You just want to make sure that the geometry with which we are replacing this feature that's joining goes further than that, if that makes sense. And then we'll left click on OK. So now we've got this flat surface that we can basically modify to our intention. And we will left click on create sketch, left click on say this triangle is okay, left click on rotate because I kind of want the logo sideways. I think that looks better. And you can do whatever your heart desires. And we'll go to solid. I will left click on, oh, we're already in the sketch, sorry. So let's do create. Are we in the sketch? Oh, yes, I am in the sketch. Okay. We'll do create text and then left click here and put your initials, or I'll just do AJ. Something cooler than Arial would be fun. Let's see here. Okay, that looks better than Arial at least. Make this like 15 maybe? Might be too big. Might be too big. It's just, you can double click, just left double click on it and get back to the modification. Maybe we'll do 12. Oh, got rid of my initials here. Maybe like 12.5. That looks a little better. Gives us a little more clearance for the edge walls when we're printing this. Left click on finish sketch. And that's all there is to, well, we have to modify this, right? So left click on the text itself, and then we can left click on extrude, and you can go up if you want to kind of do an emboss or like a recess or like a cut. I'm just going to do a cut because we're trying to replicate the original design with some kind of customization, right? So there are my initials. Kind of looks like a jungle-esque text kind of layout, kind of cool. And that's almost all there is to it. We've got one more step of the operation, which is now we want to change this solid body, which, you can change anything you want about this. You could even, actually, I wonder if you can add fillets to the edges here. Just kind of wondering if you could do this. It might be a little complex because you probably have to go through each and every single one of these. Okay, let me fast forward the video and see if this works. Okay, well, I just went through that whole experiment just to find out that it probably really doesn't like all these individual lines that are trying to join with each other. You know, in a perfect world, this would be one single line, right? So we'll just forget about that. If you guys have a strategy with regards to kind of add fillets in an operation like this, feel free to leave it in the comments. We'll press cancel. We are done here. So what we want to do is we want to convert this back to an STL file. So we can go to File, and we do this how we would do any other solid body, right? File, 3D print. We don't need to send this to a 3D print utility. Refinement high, and preview the mesh. So, and then click on our body itself in the tree. Because if you do it here, it'll select on different kind of things. I don't like the way that kind of operation works. So definitely select it in the model tree itself, and you'll get your preview. And this is what your STL file looks like with your customized logo in the center. Super cool, super quick, really easy in my opinion. I've seen kind of the progress of how easy this has started to become from a modification standpoint, given STLs to solid bodies back to STLs. So this is super cool. I mean, props to Fusion for this. And then we'll select OK, and then you can save it wherever you want to save it. So that is all there is to it. Be sure to save the file. Let's just make sure save the file. You can go back to your assembly if you have an assembly. Click on this icon up at the top left. It says one component is out of date. Just click on that, and there we go. We've got our, well, let's just kind of rotate this just for sake of, there we go. Boom, customized STL file. Granted, in this model, it is a solid body, but we just showed you how to convert it to an STL file to then 3D print it. If you found any of this content valuable, feel free to like the video, subscribe, and ping the notification bell for more whenever I upload content in the future. Again, leave any comments below if you would do it a different way, or suggest kind of that process with which I was trying to add fillets to that super janky faceted feature. Again, thank you for all your support, and I will catch you in the next one. See ya.